So do you think social media is making people more happy or less happy in terms of dating?
I feel like it's making people less happy because everybody looks to social media and they see all these standards, like, couples, those blogger or what do you call it, those influencer couples. They look like they're having the perfect relationship, perfect life, and that's what people strive for in their own relationships. But they don't realize that half of that is made up, and those couples do fight, but they don't see it. They don't see that on social media, so they think, oh, if I'm in a fight in my relationship, it's not going to work. I'll just move on, which is not really accurate because if you want something to work, you got to work for it.
Do you think most of the girls want like the top 20% of the guys? 80% of the guys are almost like invisible to women, most of the women, because of social media.
Wait, by top 20%, do you mean like?
Let's say like guys who make a lot of money, who are physically attractive, or they have something going for themselves. They are highlighted because of social media, meaning every girl who goes on Tinder or any of these apps, they don't want the bottom 80% because they can now swipe right on the top 20%. And a lot of guys, go for some of these girls, maybe sometimes, but then they think that they deserve it or something, meaning it becomes a norm. So anyways, point is that there is a phenomenon happening right now, like you might not be aware of it, but a lot of guys in their like young, teens and 20s are now not getting dates because guys like me who in their 30s are now getting the young dates because now we make money and now I know how to talk to girls, and I was young and nerdy, I never dated.
Yeah.
And
I feel like, yeah.
so is that true that 80% of the guys are not even visible first?
I mean, I wouldn't say 80%. I definitely think it's less, but I feel like that does.
Do you know it's higher? There have been experiments on Tinder that it's crazy. Meaning girls on an average get like 100 times more matches. Meaning it's just like impossible. Even for like average sevens, let's say on a scale of 10, 7 or 8 looking guy barely gets anything on Tinder. That to a psychologist or a doctor.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember. I think a friend was telling me a story about how they went on Tinder, and it was like they just made the account that day, and
Exactly.
they only made it because their friend made it, and he was he's good looking, and I guess he just came off as attractive to girls on Tinder, and so he got like hundreds of matches one night, hundreds of matches. That was his friend. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. He's not as attractive as his friend.
Let's be
he tried
honest.
It, and then one night he got like 10 matches, and
Exactly.
then he would message those girls and whatever, and only like 2 responded.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it really depends on the guy, the way they look and everything. It's really sad. They're the same age.
Exactly.
They're both students. Like everything's the same. It's just that they look different, and that's the only thing that
Wait. So do you agree that on dating apps it's really hard for anyone who is not a 9 or a 10, right?
My buddies, you guys are so cute. Really, like on dating apps, it's more of how you look, and a lot of times people on dating apps are just not really looking for a relationship. I mean, some are, granted that, but most of the time they're just looking for like a hookup or like something quick, and then they're gonna move on to the next guy. So if they're gonna make it like a quick little thing, they're gonna choose someone who's super attractive and just do that.
So if you meaning let's say you have to find a boyfriend, where do you think is the best chance to find a boyfriend for you? Meaning online, or are you going to give the dating apps a try and then maybe try other things, and or if something comes along the way like this, and
I think personally for me, I don't go on dating apps, and I don't really believe in that. Like I'm really old fashioned, so I meet people the traditional way. I'll like meet them in classes, or like I'll be friends with them, and then things develop. Like it's really old fashioned.
Right. I have another question. When girls say creepy, what do they really mean? Most of the times.
I think it
Do you think
depends on
girls
the girl.
like just call ugly guys like creepy?
No. I think some do, but most of the time I don't know. I guess it depends on the girl. I think for me, creepy would be like someone who's being too forward, and then when you reject those advances and they're still going after you, that's creepy.
That is
Like,
creepy. That's
that
the
is
definition of creepy, meaning if
Right,
someone is, literally
For
following
me,
you.
but I do know some people who are like super shallow, and if somebody just that they think is unattractive gives them a look, they think it's creepy.
Or like some kind of a text message, if you text like something and then like don't be
like
creepy.
a friendly text can come off as creepy to some people. So I guess,
So what would you say are the top 3 reasons a girl would break up with a guy in a relationship when they are dating? When they have dated, let's say like 4 years, like you have.
Top 3 reasons. I think one for sure is they'll get tired of them if it's a long relationship. I feel like they'll grow out of love for that person. And then another is that, like, I feel like in a relationship people grow at different rates. So sometimes like the girl her personality will change and so will the guys, but they'll change to be personalities that don't match. And that's one of the main reasons why things don't work out, because after a while, people change, but that change isn't always.
So personality mismatch.
Yeah.
Is the first reason.
I think so, yeah.
And then
just finding someone new, like that they are interested in, and they realize that there are better things out there than their current relationship. I feel like that's another thing that.
That's awesome that you said that. Meaning, before you tell me the third point, I want to ask you. So, do you think most girls are hypergamous? Meaning, in this day and age, especially with social media, meaning if something better comes along, why would they be with someone they are with that? What if you find a founder and a CEO of a big millionaire and who has a nice house and lives by the beach?
Yeah.
And if there is such a chance, do you think most girls would go for that?
I think, yeah, actually, unfortunately, most girls, I know some people who would definitely like go there, even though they have like perfect relationship, they're loved, they're happy. If somebody richer comes along, they're just like, oh, they have a yacht, like I'm there, And
I really have to thank you for being so honest, and most
not
people
all
won't be
girls.
so honest.
That's what you should know. It's not all.
Yeah, like 20% are not like that, sure. But would you agree that the most, let's say, at least the top 20% girls who are attractive and who educated, they would definitely do that, right?
Definitely say 20%.
So what happens to girls when they are in their 30s? Let's say if they keep doing this, that they go for a better guy and they don't settle down by their 30s, then what happens really? Because a lot of guys don't want like girls who are in their 30s to marry or settle down with.
Right.
Meaning once guys reach like 35 and they are not settled down, they usually tend to go for like younger women.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can see that, because I do have a couple friends that are in their 30s and they struggle with the dating scene and everything, but they can definitely get guys who are younger than them.
Younger?
Yeah, the younger guys kind of, like, in their age range, maybe, like, it's not so much, but younger guys really go for, like, the older ones. Like, they'll date people who are in their early 20s, when they're in, like, their 30s or 40s.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And, I mean, it works.
Okay, so meaning you pretty much solved your problem here.